Happy post-Easter.
Happy post-Easter. We made it through Easter.
We made it through Easter.
We got some Easter bunnies.
We got 2 Easter bunnies.
Chocolate Easter bunnies.
You don't get as many chocolates now when you're an adult as compared to a kid, and that really does suck.
That does suck.
I think we should strongly drop some hints.
More chocolate for the adults.
More chocolate for the adults.
Which, in theory, they're the ones buying the chocolate, so they can.
Yeah, but I don't want to buy chocolates for myself.
Oh, okay.
So that's just not quite the same.
I'm sorry. I should have bought you chocolate.
And that's where we'll leave that.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We are here, back, and doing one more musical before we do a play, which we've seen recently. So, today we are revisiting one of our favourites. And which favourite is that, Liv?
Operation Mincemeat.
Operation Mincemeat. And how many times have we seen it, Liv?
We've seen it 6 times.
Yeah. So, without further ado, you are listening, and maybe watching, to A&O Review the Show.
A&O Review the Show.
So, let's start again with the synopsis, and spoiler heavy once again.
Okay.
This is based on a true story, so if you're a real World War II nerd, you might already know it. If you are a fan of a certain Colin Firth movie, you might have also revealed the plot to yourself.
Yep.
So, without further ado,
Go for it.
Operation Mincemeat tells the true story of a daring British intelligence plan during the Second World War. In 1943, with the Allies planning an invasion of Sicily, a small team of MI5 officers, including the brains and the confident brawn, come up with an audacious idea to deceive the Nazis by planting false battle plans on a dead body, floating it onto the shores of neutral Spain, and convincing the enemy's spies and high command is a genuine British officer with battle plans for a different island invasion. As they construct an entirely fictional identity, complete with love letters, personal effects, and a carefully crafted backstory, the team become increasingly invested in the man they've created. But with the success of an entire operation hanging in the balance, they must race against time to ensure the ruse is believed, knowing that thousands of lives depend on it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, one thing I noticed when I read that is it sounds very flat, very straight. Now, if you have seen the Colin Firth movie, that is your experience of Operation Mincemeat.
It's quite the drama.
It is quite the drama, quite high stakes, and is a real story that supposedly saved a lot of Allied lives.
Yeah.
The musical, not so much.
Quite a different thing.
It's quite a bit different. It is a comedy.
It is, in every sense of the word.
Yeah. And a comedy we have kept coming back to. Now, the first time I saw it, I had no idea about any of the plot, any of the show. I didn't even know about the movie. And I came away saying it was perhaps one of the best things I've seen in a while.
Yes. We said we've seen it 6 times, and we saw it that first time on the West End in 2023. And ever since then, we've told everyone and their mother about it, which is the reason we've seen it 6 times, because we told everyone, and then everyone, when they came to visit or came down to London, were like, oh, you were talking about that Operation Mincemeat. Can we go?
And when we finished telling our friends and taking them, we started taking family. So
yeah.
Brought my half-sister as well.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how we ended up 6 times. And I really didn't disappoint,
It hasn't disappointed. And we saw a different cast almost
did.
each time. So we had the original cast on the first go. And in this instance, most of the original cast are the people that devised the show. And after that, we saw what is mostly now the touring cast for the UK, I would say.
Yes.
And after that, we watched what's mostly the current West End cast that you can see today at the Fortune Theatre.
Yes, exactly.
And All of them were excellent.
They're all been really good. Very different takes sometimes as well on the characters, but all really, really good.
And it's not quite this, but it is a bit of a slapstick comedy.
Yes.
So we work on stereotypes. We're this British stiff upper lip of the public school boys.
Yes.
And on top of that, there is also the exaggeratedness of it all. It's a cast of 5 playing around, I think it's 87 characters.
Yeah, it's a lot of characters.
On the stage, and it is non-stop. And there's gender mixing. In fact, I'm just trying to think of the main characters. There's only really, I would say that, is there only one that's playing the gender?
2, the swaps, you mean?
Yep. So there's one. I'm thinking of Charles.
Yes. Oh, does he gender swap? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I suppose you've also got you've got Jean.
Yes. Oh, yes, that's true. Yes.
So Jean and Charles are the only real out of the main characters that play their own genders.
Yes, that's very true.
All the others are gender swapped.
Yeah. But I think that works so well.
Yeah.
Definitely does.
And there's an underlying satire around that. And of course, there's the story of the increasing empowerment of women during the World War. And the show references that. There is a number to that. And
yes.
So you get to see part of that through the way that they play the characters.
Yeah. It's such a well-crafted piece of musical theater. It's funny. It has some heartfelt moments, which we can discuss shortly. And just altogether, you leave feeling so joyful, even though it's about a really hard time in human history. It's clever. The songs are good. The story's good. It makes you feel good. You laugh. You shed a few tears even. And it just, you come away, you get hit with things you don't expect, I think, as well, for someone who, if you haven't seen it before as well. It surprises you, which is always a fun thing, I think.
Yep. And as someone that grew up state-schooled, qualifying for most of the low-income offerings, I related heavily on the stereotypes of the arrogance and sometimes ineptitude of the Eton-educated heroes, despite their sheer genius.
Yeah.
It's amazing that effectively what they've done is take a story that sounds crazy but true, which normally you would put on a pedestal and say this is a heroic story that is incredibly unlikely.
Yeah.
And instead just saw almost the daftness, brazenness of it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And tears it apart.
Yeah.
And not in like a disgraceful way. They don't say that what happened was terrible and ridiculous and shouldn't have worked, although it probably shouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
But they have found the ridiculousness of the story and use that for the comedy that drives throughout this very high energy, high octane show.
Yeah. Without, laughing with it rather than at it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But you're right. It's so fantastical. It's hard to believe that it's based on a true story. But yeah, it's such a good mix. I love all the actors that, as we said, we've seen several casts, and everyone is completely, feels on it, is ready to improvise. We've even witnessed an improvised moment or two, I think, in some of the times that we've seen it, which is always quite fun. And in addition to kind of the 5 kind of main characters that there are of the MI5 agents, as you said, they play 80-some different characters, and all the little tiny characters are quite fun too that are played throughout it. I was re-listening to it earlier, and the little, when they go to London, the little London Cockneys who kind of don't really fit in whatever time period there is. Just
we've
those
got
little
1800 era Cockneys in 1900 era London.
1940s, yeah.
So
yeah, just those little tiny bits that pull at the British stereotypes.
And it is British humour with the U, very much in the spelling of humour.
And it is very British.
Yeah, which is perhaps completely the opposite of the producers, which we were talking about a few weeks ago.
That's very true. Yeah, which is very American in a lot of ways. You're right.
And despite that, there are still heavy moments
Oh yeah, absolutely.
in the show.
It doesn't forget the solemnness of that there was a war going on.
Yes, there is a war going on, and for quite a fair amount of the older characters, it's not the first war that they've been through. And they use that experience, and that's threaded throughout the show.
Yeah.
And I think it's excellent in the way that they could still do these poignant moments, because, as we were saying, there's a lot of slapstick, stereotypical comedy that runs throughout, and that makes it excellent. But then there are these poignant moments, we'll talk about them a bit later when we talk about the music, that just have a little bit of a pause, and you don't know you're being led into this moment.
No.
And by the time you realize, it's just the transition is so smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was doing a video edit, it would be the smoothest gradient transition.
Yeah.
And then they ease you back out of that moment afterwards, back into the comedy, and it's so masterfully done.
It is. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't hit you hard in terms of going in or going out of it. It's all very subtle, but you know exactly what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
So no, it's just a beautifully done show. It's become one of my favorites. I know it's hard to believe we've seen it 6 times, but it's definitely become one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
And throughout the show, obviously, you've got the part where they're devising a plan, or even struggling to get any plan off the ground. Then you have the character development of one person that is full of overconfidence, the very much eaten, I know everything, everyone will open the door to me sort of style of character, alongside someone that has a rather ridiculous idea but is incredibly shy, very technical. And the marrying of those two unlikely characters, basically running headfirst into a chaotic way of implementing a plan for which there was no time to start with anyway. So, and then the second act primarily focuses on the aftermath of deploying the plan.
Yeah.
Is it working? Is it going to work? Is there something they need to do to stop it, help it?
Yeah.
And also an underlying spy plot in amongst all of it.
Yes.
So...
Intrigue.
So with that, shall we move on to the musical notes?
Yes. I mean, the characters that you were mentioning, the overconfident one is Ewan Montague, known as Monty, is quite a spectacular character to watch.
Oh, it's he/she.
Yeah.
Because it's he the character, she the actress.
Yes.
Is just a larger-than-life character and needs to be played larger than life.
Yeah.
And is hilarious because of it.
Yeah.
You need that boisterousness, that overconfidence. I'm going to burst through any door, any trouble, any plan, and this is the way that I'm going to do it. And everybody should almost bow down before me.
Yep. Because I'm so brilliant at what I do. Yes. I was just wanted to highlight his character, and the other one, which will lead me on to the music, is Hester, who we've seen play originally by Jack Malone. And who did we see the last time? I want to say Danny. Yes, Danny Becker. Who is Hester. The character is a woman played by the actor, man. And she's kind of the head secretary of MI5 and assigned to the project, and is responsible for doing all the paperwork and putting everything together kind of for the mission that they need. And she is a really kind of tight-lipped, stiff upper lip kind of woman, isn't going to let her emotions show necessarily, except for one number that she does in the show when they're trying to write a love letter for this supposed soldier that they're using as part of the plan. And so this song is a love letter, which it turns out is revealed through the song that she had someone who she loved, who she lost during the First World War. And again, it's a moment that hits you without you even seeing it. And that's one of the most beautiful songs in the show, I think.
Bar none.
Yeah. And there's a
And
reason.
that is the song that I was telling you. It takes you by surprise.
Yes, it does.
At the start, this love letter is being composed by Charles and Jean.
Yeah.
Really quite badly.
Yes.
And hilarity ensues, and then Hester takes over, who's a rather, as you said, stickler character, and you think, oh, all right.
Oh, she couldn't have, she doesn't know any better than they do.
She doesn't know any better than, yeah. And there's a bit of sort of, I don't know how best to put it, but old lady humor as she's rewriting it in her song until you suddenly realize that humor falls away into personal experiences of a war that had only happened a few years prior.
Yeah.
And it always brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah. It absolutely does every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful piece of music, and Spitlip, the company who made the show, who are part of the original cast, is just an incredible feat that they've put together, I think. And I was actually in my re-listen recently. I mean, in the soundtrack, it comes after one of my other favorite numbers in the show, which is after they get the plan to kind of go ahead with the mission, and it's songs called Making a Man, and they go through all the different scenes of putting everything together that they need for the, to put together the story of this man for this corpse, and they go through all the different ways that they to fill his wallet with receipts, and they go out and see theater shows and buy suits and diamond rings and all these things, and they sing this beautiful song about how they've made up this person and made him real, and that we then believe he's real by the end of it. And the Dear Bill letter, as the song's called Dear Bill, is kind of the final piece of making him a man. And so the fact that those songs lead kind of from one to the other, as this is probably my favorite section of the show. Yeah.
That and the sea shanty that comes up.
Oh yes, is that one of your favorites?
It is. Yeah, it's up there because it's primarily relying on the strength of the vocals, and it also eases you back into the comedy.
Yeah.
And it features once straight after Hester's really powerful song and once towards the end. And it's also a song that they did during, I believe, the VE Day performance, I think I've written down.
Oh, yes.
That I did watch several times.
The anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the one thing I will say, the orchestra are excellent throughout the performance, but it is much more of a smaller. It's in the Fortune Theatre. It's a smaller theatre. It's a smaller cast, and it's a smaller orchestra. And it is at those moments where they perform these numbers, because it's been so successful in other settings, such as the VE Day anniversary and the Olivier Awards, where they have a full orchestra behind them, and it does kind of make you wish they had that fuller orchestra in all of their performances, because it does kind of show how excellent it is.
Yeah. No, that's very true.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good song as well. You're right. Yeah. Do you have any other favorite highlights of the musical numbers?
Those are the ones I had down.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to be very limited on these musical reviews now, because otherwise we can speak about it for hours.
Yeah, no, that's true. So, did you have any thoughts on kind of the rest of the show, the choreography, the sets, the costumes, the other pieces of it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on it?
Well, the costumes overall are quite contemporary.
Yeah.
And because they're playing 80-some-odd characters in a very... we talk about the choreography on stage. There's a lot of choreography happening off stage.
Oh, yes.
Because these characters or these actors are dipping off the stage, dressed in seconds and back on as someone else.
Yep.
And often, not all the time, often it's slight accents to their costumes that give you the sense that they've changed. And of course, their characterization as well, and the way that they hold themselves. And for instance, Hester's signature look is obviously the 1940s fair, but she also has her glasses and one hair curl on her forehead. Yeah. And yes, it looks a little unnatural, but it gives you enough to know what's going on. And there's sometimes exaggerations to great effect. So in the middle of this number, and this is where it is Making a Man, I think, that you were talking about, that actually goes on for quite some time. You don't realize how much of a journey you go on through this song.
Yeah.
And there's a point where Charles has to convince the musty old admirals of this crazy plan of putting a corpse in effectively a thermos and floating it across the sea. And the musty old admirals are obviously some of the 5 cast members with their heads through admiral portraits, artistic portraits.
Yep.
And that plus the characterization is not only delineates the change in character, it's also just done to such great comic effect.
Yeah, it is. They're all very bumbling, like, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Kind of vibe.
Did you have anything to say to that?
No. I mean, I agree. They all wear a very much a base costume, as it were. 1940s fair, which is a white top of some kind and some type of dark trouser or bottom. And then, as you said, they add the little pieces, Bernard Spilsbury has the sparkly blood-stained gloves. And
that one is a little bit more elaborate.
Yes, it is. But like you said, the admirals, the typing gals have little headpieces that they wear. Oh, the doctors, and when we get over to Spain, have white coats that they wear. So just little tiny pieces that they put on that make you know exactly who they are, but can be removed or added very, very quickly. Except for the glitzy finale. They kind of...
Well, it's funny you should say that, because that's what I was going to say about the set. The set is also similarly basic. It is like, it's incredibly basic for the most part. You could do it anywhere. In fact, the Oliviers, they projected this backdrop, which is effectively a blackboard with battle plans on it.
Yeah.
And you could pretty much do most of the play there.
Yeah.
There is a blackboard that acts as a door in other scenes.
Yes, that's
and then
true.
Has a secret door in it for comic effect. And lighting is used. I think I wrote it down, allowing for a German disco number.
Oh, yes.
Which I won't divulge more about.
No. Let that be a good surprise for you.
It takes you by surprise.
It does. It very much
somewhere
does.
in the middle.
Yep.
And also allows for a pseudo split screen.
Yes.
In part where there's a phone call between London and Spain.
Yes.
Just done by a bit of lighting. And that's all that's necessary.
Yeah.
Except for the glitzy finale, where clearly they blew all of the budget.
Yeah.
Because that then completely flips on its head. There is fly wires.
Yep.
There are
stairs
that come out.
Yeah.
There's an entire US plane front that flies down.
I forgot about the plane.
So that is a bit jarring.
Yeah.
It works. It's fine.
It does.
But it does... I suppose it's a testament to the fact that the rest of the show doesn't necessarily need that.
Yeah. No. You're right. And I think the lighting is very simple, but used really well. I think the bit I wrote down about that was about specific use of spotlights. Mm-hmm. So obviously there's a bit where they talk about the man they've made and the corpse, and they kind of just put a spotlight on the military hat, which is really a really poignant moment, I think. And also a spotlight on Bernard Spilsbury when he bursts through the door, which Bernard Spilsbury is the coroner who finds them a dead body to use.
Fun fact, despite that sounding like a made-up blood gory name, and yes, some parts of the real story were a little adjusted,
okay,
Bernard Spilsbury is 100% real.
Okay. He hasn't had an OBE.
I think he did.
Yeah.
I can't remember that. I'm pretty sure he did.
They said he did in the musical. I'm pretty sure he did. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's all well done. I think. Yeah.
So how who would you want to play out of all of that?
Oh man, I was thinking about this again today because I wrote down probably Jean.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably where I'd lean. Monty, this looks like so much fun. I don't know if I'd ever be cast as Monty, but if we're dreaming blue sky thinking, like it'd be so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
They'd all be fun.
Well, it's funny you should say that. It's like, although Hester has the gravitas and
Yeah.
arguably is the scene stealer of the entire
yeah,
show, there's an entire vinyl record dedicated to his/her song.
Yeah.
For me, I kind of probably would have loved to play Charles Chumley.
Yeah.
Because
I can see that.
it's just so chaotic. It is so fun.
Yeah.
And the characterization can be done so well.
Yeah.
This is one thing I think I had written actually earlier and I just kind of skipped over, but I'll go back now. But the second person we saw to play Charles, Sean Carey,
Oh, yes. Yeah.
was my personal favourite
My favorite Charles.
Charles of that. And it's played because it can be played in a manner of ways,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it could be played ridiculously to the point that it could be annoying, or it could be played to the point where someone is so timid that you're kind of like, oh, you kind of deserve being sidelined a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas Sean Carey played it that sort of perfect middle
Okay.
where it's timid, but not in an annoying way and still a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Because this guy, he sings a song about wishing to be a maggot
Yeah.
when he's trying to build himself up.
Yeah.
He's a crazy character in many ways.
He's a weird dude.
He has weird habits.
And definitely has fallen like out of the spotlight or hasn't been, not out of the spotlight, but I mean like, isn't noticed very often. They have the running joke about like, oh, are you new here? He's like, no, I've worked here for 6 years. Like, kind of thing. Like, he's not noticed until kind of this moment in his life, more or less.
For anyone that watched Scrubs, the medical sitcom, which has recently been revived, there's an episode where Ted, the lawyer, works for the janitorial, a newspaper, because he can sit in any room and not be noticed and basically do his investigative work. It's kind of a bit like that.
Okay.
Just completely overlooked in many ways. And even though you can't see Sean at the West End at the moment, I believe he is on the UK tour.
I was going to say, I think he's on the tour.
And a fun fact,
Yes.
I believe he only got the role
Okay.
due to Dave Cumming, the original
Yeah.
Charles, and one of the members of Spitlip, broke his collarbone by falling off a bike 10 days before the West End opening and had no understudy. And so Sean had to learn it in 6 days.
Wow. Well done, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. Gosh.
And I think I got that right from his Radio 4 interview. So
The show has had quite the journey. I mean, we didn't really go into that at all, but this company, that devised it, Spitlip, these 4 people, and it started as a Edinburgh Fringe show. And it kind of grew from there and had a couple runs and then was picked up by the New Diorama Theatre and had a run there. And then went and ran at Riverside Studios. And then from there was picked up and put into the West End at the Fortune Theatre, which is where it still is. But now it's going on a UK tour and opening in Australia. And it's been on Broadway. And it won 1 Tony Award during its initial Broadway season. And now I think the Broadway version has tweaked a few bits of vocabulary.
that goes back to my point about British humour with a U.
Yes. But other than that, I don't really think it's changed a whole lot. We haven't seen it on Broadway, but
Not yet.
Not yet.
The original cast and the devisers were actually the Broadway cast up until recently.
Yes. And it won the Olivier Award for Best New Musical in 2022. Or sorry, not 2024. Sorry. 2024. And Jack won the Olivier Award for playing Hester as well. So
Which he should have done.
As he should have done. So it's quite the journey the show has had, and really amazing to see a show that was created and performed on the Fringe make its way to the West End, Olivier Awards, Broadway, Tony Awards. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Have you got any fun facts for us?
other than I was just going to talk about the theater, which we've talked about a little bit. It's in the Fortune Theater,
Which is the complete opposite from its bedfellow on the other side of the road.
Drury Lane, which we did say earlier, the entirety of the Fortune Theater can fit on the stage of the Drury Lane.
And the theatre itself is also very small, so ladies, if you need the loo, be prepared to queue.
Yeah, definitely be prepared to queue. It is the third smallest theatre in the West End, actually. It has 432 seats. The smallest theatre is the Arts Theatre, 350, and the second smallest is the Ambassadors, 415. So it's the third smallest. So if you can believe there's something smaller than it, it might be hard to believe. And there isn't really a bad seat in the house. We've sat a couple different places, but the top level has a steep rake to it. So beware if you're going to sit up there.
It does.
Yeah. Do you have any fun facts?
I don't. But I was thinking, and we perhaps should have mentioned this in terms of the music. Didn't someone say that it was influenced by sort of Hamilton style?
It's they obviously credit some ideas they got from Hamilton. I think they've described it as part Hamilton, part Six, part Mel Brooks, which we haven't talked about Six on here. But
I haven't seen Six.
Oh well, maybe that's something we'll have to do. But The Producers is a Mel Brooks musical, and so I do see elements of all those things in it. Obviously I haven't stolen anything, but there are bits that feel in a very similar vein to those pieces of art. So you can see how they were inspired by that, I would say. Definitely.
Yeah.
So.
It's a very energetic soundtrack, and it's very well done. I'm not going to say that it's the full sort of blooded orchestral pieces you'd expect in something like Les Mis, or Sondheim for that matter, but it's great for what it is.
Absolutely.
And we have revisited the soundtrack more times than we've seen the show, which is already a large number.
Yeah, absolutely.
And perhaps know more of the lyrics than either of us would care to admit.
Very true. I will say, though, if you haven't seen the show, take a good look at the poster. It kind of threw me for a loop. It took me ages to figure out what it actually is. I'm not going to say. I'm going to let you figure it out. But it's quite have a good look at the poster, I'd say. Definitely. And I guess towards the end of the show, which is kind of a recent development in the history of the story, they pay homage to the real person whose body was used in this.
Oh, I did a quick bit of research on this.
Oh, did you?
And I didn't end up saying anything.
That's all right. You go ahead. You go ahead.
So the files were only declassified years after the mission happened. And of course, there's one thing to have a dead corpse that you dress up as a Royal Air Force pilot and float to sea with a completely different identity. It's another thing to realize that dead corpse was actually a person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in this instance, it was, I believe, a homeless person from Wales.
Yep.
And that person's name was Glendor Michael.
Yep.
I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. And his grave obviously showed his false identity from the point that he was buried after the mission.
Yep.
All the way through from the 1940s to 1997, over 50 years later. Gosh. And only then did they put the real identity on the gravestone.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So the gravestone says William Martin, which is the identity he was buried as, and Glenda Michael underneath.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Glad he's finally getting the recognition.
Yeah.
He deserves.
Did quite a lot.
Yeah, absolutely did quite a lot. Didn't really even know it.
Yeah. Not many of us will be that useful after we pass. No, so
we can only hope.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Shall I go to my little corner?
Sure. Adrian's corner.
As we're on the last of the musicals, this might be the last for a minute or two, as I am struggling with our next one. But anyway, Operation Mincemeat
Yes.
proves that sometimes the most ridiculous idea is the one that wins the war.
Yes, that is true.
So, I'm going to pitch to you, Olivia, a series of espionage plans.
Okay.
And you have to tell me, is this a genuine British intelligence plan?
Okay.
Or have I completely made it up?
Okay. All right.
Okay? So, you create an entirely fake army using inflatable tanks, dummy aircraft, and sound effects to convince the enemy an invasion is coming from a different direction.
And I have to say whether that's actually a thing that's been pitched.
Yes. Is that real? No, not just pitched.
Oh,
was it done?
Did it happen?
Did it happen?
I'm going to say yeah.
It is real. So it was called Operation Fortitude,
Operation Fortitude.
and it was intended to divert Axis attention away from Normandy through diversionary tactics. And in fact, the guy that was doing it, Drew Turner, turned to the film industry to build the dummies because that was the way of building these things really cheap.
Okay.
And, Britain was a little bit cash-strapped. So this, along with a steady stream of false intelligence, inventing units and commands that didn't exist, meant that when D-Day came, the Germans held the 15th Army back as High Command was convinced there would be a second major invasion, meaning the Allies had less to face in Normandy.
Huh. Always turn to the creatives, even in times of war.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Very interesting.
plan number 2.
Okay.
The RAF developed a pigeon section and sent out Allied bomber crews with pigeons so they could release them with details of where they had landed when they were shot down. And the plan worked, with one pigeon being awarded a Medal of Distinction.
Did they pin it on him?
No comment.
Little tiny medal of distinction for a pigeon. I mean, if he got a medal, surely it happened.
I could have made that up, but yes, it's true. A pigeon by the name of Royal Blue
He had a name.
flew 120 miles from a crash site in Holland in just over 4 hours to deliver a pilot's message and trigger a rescue operation. For this, Royal Blue was awarded a medal. A
Dickon medal?
A Dickon medal.
Okay.
And in fact, the UK actually set up a national pigeon service during the war.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who knew? I learned something today.
I've got 2 quick-fire ones and then one last one.
Okay. All right.
So,
We'll go quick.
drop fake ration coupons behind enemy lines to make civilians believe shortages are worse than they are. That was a little bit more standard.
Yeah? Did it?
No, that one was fake.
Oh, okay.
And another pigeon one for you.
Okay.
The British bred inferior pigeons to infiltrate and weaken German messenger stock.
No.
That's true. That's fake.
Okay.
One last...
So I was right. It is fake.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I don't have much to say on the fake ones.
Okay.
And one last one.
Okay.
The British Special Operations Executive filled dead rats with explosives and planned to scatter them. So when someone threw a rat at something, boom.
I believe it.
It is real. But
Oh, there's a but.
it was never deployed successfully.
Oh.
They were meant to target boilers, so you were meant to chuck your explosive rat at a boiler.
Okay.
The first shipment of exploding rats actually got intercepted by the Nazis.
What do they do with them?
I don't have that information,
Okay.
but I can tell you that despite never being deployed successfully, it was successful because the Nazis then became really paranoid about rats. and then put loads of resources into searching for more exploding rats. So
All right.
I guess that's a win.
Okay, absolutely. Like a rat Molotov cocktail kind of vibe. Interesting. Okay.
You can find diagrams of this online if you're really interested.
Okay.
But, your average exploding rat.
We've definitely had an education today.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for those little tidbits. That was fun.
A little bit of history for you.
Yeah, enjoyed that. Always enjoy a little bit of a game. Yeah. All right.
Well, that's everything from me.
Yeah, I think that's everything for me too. Operation Mincemeat is still running in the West End at the Fortune Theatre, running on Broadway at the Golden Theatre, and just embarked on its UK tour and is, I think, due to open in Australia later in the year.
I've got in the US, it's in the Golden Theatre.
Yep.
And touring in cities.
Okay.
And soon to be touring in Australia, New Zealand, and China.
Yep.
And also, you can get cheaper lottery tickets in the UK if you sign up online.
Yes. That lottery is every other Friday. It gives you access to £30 tickets for performances for the following 2 weeks. This is a good way to get in and get some tickets.
So definitely go and see it.
Yes, please do.
And next week, we will return with a play.
Yes, we finally saw a play. You thought we only see musicals, but we did go see a play.
So we'll do one little plug. On the BBC right now, you can watch for free on iPlayer, assuming you're a license fee payer. You can watch the Big Night of Musicals.
Yes.
So
excellent.
Mm-hmm.
That should be good.
So until next time, we will see you then. And please do subscribe if you enjoyed listening to this. This is A&O Review the Show.
See you soon.
Ta-ra!
A&O Review the Show.